Before new medical treatment is given to the general public, its safety and use must first be tested. Within the depths of our hospitals, this research is conducted, using us, the human volunteers, the guinea pigs.
What else have I done? I can't remember. You just put them out of your head.
Fran is an experienced volunteer on the circuit. She has taken part in many trials and tests.
When I do the trials, I feel nervous and concerned that there won't be any long-term repercussions.
Ravi, a student from Kenya, is new to the group, having previously completed just 2 experiments.
I don't look too far ahead now. I don't dare to.
Nancy is diagnosed with an incurable form of cancer. As a volunteer, she tests new methods of treatment. They are all about to undergo experimentation at one of the many research units in Britain.
Yes, you're just finishing it.
Fran and Ravi have volunteered to test the effects of a new shampoo that kills head lice. The experiment is explained to them and a thorough medical is given.
So just got to take your blood pressure now.
The shampoo is to be applied to their back to see if it irritates human skin.
Can I shower with the patch on?
Yeah, you can shower and you can have a bath as well. But what you mustn't do is do any vigorous exercise.
Patches containing different strengths of the liquid will be stuck on for 24 hours. As the pigs on this trial, they are paid an inconvenience fee, an amount of money relative to the danger that the experiment involves. In this test, the payment is only £30. However, if their skin does not react to the shampoo, they will be asked to wear the patches for 2 more days, earning them over 100.
You can just lean forward a bit. That's it.
When I do clinical trials, I'm very nervous, and I worry a lot, thinking that something will go wrong, or maybe they've actually lied to us, and something more than the actual drug that they're using.
There was one trial I did that made me nervous a little bit. It was a trial where they put IV solution into us.
Makes you feel like you've got it feels as if sometimes it's...
And Blood Transfusion Society, were running a test on a new one. So we just had to have this infusion. And for some reason or other, because once it's in, it's in. And of course, CJD and everything had just started rearing its head. So it did give me pause for thought, that one. But I still did it. Because I believe in when your time's up, whatever.
Meanwhile, in another room downstairs, Nancy has arrived to test a new cancer treatment that's being developed.
So where are we going to go? I had the original breast cancer 5 years ago, and I had a mastectomy and a reconstruction. And then last May I started to get backache. I had to go in for an appointment and he said he was sorry that it was back, and it had wrapped itself around my spinal cord. They also found some cancer on my lungs. And this basically now, how I am now, is as good as it will get.
Once a week, Nancy's body is filled with an experimental new medicine, a form of gene therapy. The drug's full effects are yet to be established.
Because it's a trial drug, they're still gaining data on it, and there is a field of thought that it may actually kill the cancer cells, but I don't know. Presumably that will show in time as the data comes in.
The volunteers return home, due back at the hospital the next day.
From the out of trial, I earned almost £1,000 for doing just, I think, 5 weekends of work. And you're fed and everything. And not to count the taxi money and all that that they give you. And I did my studying basically when I was there, because you did nothing basically. So £1,000. I spent all the money travelling.
Holidays, treat my children, clothes. Did a big one where I was in for 5 days, and that paid very well. And I used that to pay off my eldest son's overdraft from Bristol University. So it's sort of very varied, really. It goes into the bank, and then if something comes up and I need extra money, or I think, oh yes, I can afford that because it's in there.
I think you have to take risks. I suppose in a way I'm taking a risk being on a trial. But if people like me don't take risks, then the treatment will never change for those people that will come after me. And maybe it pushes the boundaries because the doctors gain more information.
During the testing today, Nancy discovered that another volunteer on a trial has passed away.
You don't ever forget that you've got this illness. And when you're told initially, I mean, the ground just opens up beneath you. It's very hard to put into words just how you feel, because all the things that you take for granted, you suddenly don't. It makes you reassess. But as time goes on, it sort of goes further back in your head. It's not right in your face all the time anymore. But then, of course, with something like Ida dying, it brings it right back again.
It's actually quite fun to do, because you meet people there, and they're all students, and you just get to know them, and it's fun. But then it's also scary when they come take your blood. So you're watching, and then you know you're next, you're like, oh, you're just shaking and nervous. But that's part of it, that's why you're being paid.
You find, like any club, little cliques of people who found common ground. There was one occasion where a couple got together, but I won't go into that.
I suppose part of it must be my own temperament. I think that if you have a disease like this, you've got to stay positive. I've no intention of hiding myself away.
I would never tell my parents I'm doing these trials. I told my sister by mistake, and she told my mom, and there was chaos. She was calling me here and screaming and shouting, what am I doing trials for? They won't approve. I don't think any parent will approve.
My son did one. He did the same hypertension one, and the £800 he got for 2 weeks of being in here, and he came in pale, pasty-faced, typical student look. It was in the summer, and they were allowed out on the grounds only to sunbathe. Caffeine-free for 2 weeks. He came out clear-eyed, tanned, incredibly healthy, and £800 in his pocket.
Fran and Ravi arrived to have the shampoo removed. The patches are torn off. The skin's reaction is measured. And a photo is taken. With no irritation, Ravi will proceed to the second phase of the trial, earning him the larger cash reward.
Right, I'm just going to take them off. I've just seen someone else downstairs. All 4 of hers are hanging off.
Who's that?
Ashley.
Really? She's the only one.
She bent down and felt them all pop.
She is the only person.
I said it's because she's so fat.
You didn't tell her that?
No. No, she's a big girl. I mean, I wouldn't tell her that. She might hit me.
You've actually got a fair bit of pinkness from the plaster.
However, for Fran, the shampoo has caused marking on her back. She will be able to continue no further. Ravi books himself back in, whilst Fran returns to work, collecting a payment on the way.
None of medicine as we know it today would be here if we hadn't have had human guinea pigs. At some point, you can do it on all the rats in the world, but at some point you've got to actually try it on a human being.
Well, if somebody came and said to me, you're a human guinea pig, I think I'd look them straight between the eyes and say, yes, I am. But if you were in my position, would you choose any different?
For now I'd say no, I won't do any more. But in 3 months we'll have to see what the money status is like.
So human guinea pig, yeah, we are. And God bless us all, whether we take money or not.
These three are a fraction of our network. Thousands operate, pushing forward medical boundaries, putting their safety at risk.